Trash to treasure. How is that possible? How can it be done? Well, me and some other very talented crafters gonna show you in our videos. So welcome to a collaboration with this southern girl Ken and crafty Lini and many others talented crafters out here on YouTube. Watch our videos which will be available in playlist down below. So first of my project is I use this use candle container and I decided to decoupage it. So firstly I applied a little bit of glitter decoupage glue onto the container itself. Then I applied the rice paper, of course face down, because I want to see it from the other side when I'm looking at it. And this is called reverse decoupage, and as you can see I am cutting and I see the wrinkle is forming there and there where I was cutting. Okay, now you see some white lines. These are not wrinkles, this is the thread which goes sometimes in rice paper, so it's not a wrinkle, it's the stuff inside the rice paper. So with good amount of decoupage glue I am gluing it onto the container, applying a little bit of pressure as you can see here. Then when it is dry, and I did it on both sides, I painted the lid as well with white paint because I'm gonna decoupage it later on as well. And I applied 2 layers of the white paint here. Now my rice paper is dry and it is time to sand off the excess on top of my rice paper. And since the rice paper I just had like few left and it was pieces, I just glued it on like it was the pieces on my lid. So I used really the whole rice paper as you can see here, and also I'm gluing it with decoupage glue, but you can use Mod Podge as well, so there is no problem with that. Okay, as you can see I am trying to do like a little bit of design so it won't be as visible, that I didn't use like the whole rice paper, I just use pieces. But sometimes even this is a recycle, right, or upcycle or whatever, I'm just using the pieces I have. But it was a very nice looking rice paper. So, and now again taking off the excess from the lid of my container with sandpaper before I continue working on it. And the next step will be adding a little bit of color onto my uh, lid, as you can see here, because there were like white design between which I didn't glue, of course, since it was not one whole rice paper. So I need to do a little bit of blending, as you can see. And now I can see I somehow didn't record it that I applied white paint on the container, but I did. I did apply white paint on my container, which makes my inside reverse decoupage visible, and the other stuff I can glue some more. And now I decided to glue some peacocks because I do love some peacocks, and somehow it fit onto the theme on the other side of my container. So I glued two custom printed rice paper peacocks on my container, and I didn't tear up the image because this wasn't a round one as much, so there was no need for that to do that. And now I am just applying a little bit of glitter decoupage glue onto my lid. Oops, you know me guys, I let some stuff fall all the time, so that's nothing new, right? So I am applying some glitter decoupage glue, and back to my container. It is about time to do some painting and blending. And as you can see, again, I'm going inside my rice paper as well for nice, better blending here. And then we will be doing some shadings and such when I am done with painting the whole container. And now I am doing a little bit of shadings here and there, not much, just a little bit, and I like to use fingers for it. And now I'm applying some dots with small brush paint and little bit of water, but it still wasn't enough for me, and I was thinking it needs more, it needs something more. So I decided to use this stencil from Stamperia, and with the dabber I am applying some paint on it, not all the way, just here and there, because I didn't want it to be on the whole thing, and I didn't want it to be like uh, I would, what I wanted to say, I have no idea what I wanted to say. So I'm sorry, guys. I am just applying a white paint to make it not so red. And this I did on both sides, let it dry. And now it is time again for my glitter decoupage glue. And I painted the whole container with this, or I applied on the whole container and let it dry. And again, make sure no excess because it will dry out white, not clear. Then it is time to seal everything, and for this I am using pouring glaze. Of course, varnish can be used as well, and I applied 2 layers on the lid itself and up to 4 layers onto the container for a nice shiny look. Of course, let it dry between each layer, and here again make sure no excess because it will dry out white as well. And now just applied this decorative knob on my container, and here it is. It can be used in your kitchen, it can be used in your bathroom. A nice candle container turn into a container for little trinkets for your bathroom stuff or such. And look, I have even a matching peacock. And now on to my next project. So I am gonna decorate this can. So firstly, so it doesn't, you know, it's sharp, sharp, sharp. So sandpaper here, I'm just sanding off a little bit, making sure. Then it is time to take off this paper which said what was in it. And again, okay, I clean it some more because there was glue stuff on it. Then make sure you rub it on with alcohol for no grease. And it is good if you have primer, use that. If you don't have primer, just apply white paint, but you will be applying 3 layers because, well, it doesn't cover as good as primer. And then I applied the primer, then I applied the white paint, and I did it only once because it was a good coverage. Let it dry, and now I applied napkin, and for this I use this napkin and decoupage glue. And of course you just use the first layer of the napkin, and with good amount of glue you just slowly go around and glue it. Guys, I didn't speed up this process, so you can see really in normal time how long it takes when you are gluing this onto your container, can, or whatever. So but make sure really good amount of glue. You can apply a little bit of pressure so the bubbles will be gone, the wrinkles will be gone, and you go slowly from one side to another. You can even lift your napkin if you see a wrinkle, something forming. Just carefully lift it, but as you can see, good amount of glue, and I'm going, and you would think, okay, now she gets wrinkles. No, it just the napkin is wet, it makes that, but with good amount of pressure you get rid of everything, bubbles, wrinkles. And then let it dry, and I did it with another piece of napkin, so I really decoupage the whole can with this. And now for a little bit of shading and such, I decided just to do a little bit of shading, nothing else. I just did that, and as you can see I am doing it with my fingers. I cannot do it just with brush. And then I am alternating the acrylic paint, and then again with small brush, little bit of paint and water, I am applying dots on my container, and then I let the whole thing dry. And as you can see, I can turn it because I sand off the inside so it isn't sharp anymore. Okay, and now with another dabber, I am just applying a little bit of paint on the bottom of my container for a nice look. You don't have to do it, but I was thinking, okay, just a little bit something. And now glitter decoupage glue, yay! So I applied that on my container, let it dry, of course, before it is time to seal my container. And again, I am using glaze for this. I applied 3 or 4 layers, let it dry between each layer, and it is a nice shine on my can. And here it is. Well, I'm gonna do a centerpiece with it, but you can use it as a candle holder. You can pour candle in it, or look, kitchen utilities, or brushes, or whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.